Hollywood is burning with secrets, and 2025 just exposed the juiciest scandals yet. Behind the red carpets and flawless smiles, 5 stars found themselves caught in headlines they never wanted the world to see. From shocking arrests to viral queer rumors, from messy breakups to controversies that shook entire fandoms, this year proved no one is untouchable. These aren't whispers in the shadows anymore. They're public, explosive, and impossible to ignore. And let's be real, you live for it just like we do. You're watching Rainbow Spotlight, the channel uncovering the raw, unfiltered LGBTQ+ stories Hollywood can't keep buried. Before we dive in, drop your city or country in the comments, and let's see just how far this queer spotlight shines tonight. Ready? Let's count down the top 5 Hollywood gay scandals everyone's talking about in 2025. And trust me, number 1 will leave you gasping. Number 1. Cameron Dallas. Cameron Dallas was supposed to be the golden boy of the internet. With his angelic face, sculpted abs, and boy-next-door charm, he exploded from Vine heartthrob to global influencer in just a few months. Millions of teens worshipped his every move, brands threw money at him, and Hollywood opened its doors wide. To the outside world, he was perfection wrapped in Calvin Klein underwear. But behind the Instagram filters and sponsored smiles, Dallas's story was far darker. And 2025 may be the year his carefully polished image finally cracked wide open. The trouble started long before this year. Arrest records, messy parties, and whispers of substance abuse haunted him throughout the late 2010s. Paparazzi loved catching him stumbling out of nightclubs, while gossip blogs painted him as the fallen angel of influencer culture. And yet, every time a scandal threatened to bury him, Cameron managed to bounce back with a new project, a new girlfriend, or at least the illusion of one. His fans wanted to believe in the fantasy. But Hollywood insiders? They knew he was walking on thin ice. Then came the rumors. For years, online forums and stan Twitter threads speculated endlessly about Cameron's sexuality. From bro weekends in exotic villas to mysteriously intimate selfies with male friends, the internet dissected every gesture, every glance, every Instagram story. Dallas never labeled himself, never addressed the speculation directly, but his silence only fueled the fire. And in an era where authenticity sells more than perfection, the mystery became its own kind of scandal. 2025 pushed those whispers into overdrive. A leaked video, allegedly from a private party in Los Angeles, showed Cameron in what fans called a too-close-for-straight moment with another male influencer. Within hours, TikTok had clips dissecting every frame, Twitter was ablaze with hashtags, and YouTube commentators were calling it the outing of the year. Cameron's team scrambled to bury the footage, but the damage was already done. The boy-next-door image had been shattered, replaced by the messy, complicated reality of a star who couldn't hide forever. But here's the twist. Instead of destroying him, the scandal made Cameron trend like never before. Fans divided into camps, some defending his right to privacy, others demanding the truth. The debate wasn't just about Cameron, it was about what it means to be queer, closeted, or simply non-conforming in Hollywood today. Was his silence self-protection, or was it feeding into a system that punishes authenticity? And did he really owe anyone an explanation? Drop a 2 if you think Cameron should live his truth on his own terms. Number: Shawn Mendes. For nearly a decade, Shawn Mendes has been the pop prince every magazine dreamed of. With his soft brown eyes, soulful voice, and body that graced Calvin Klein campaigns, he wasn't just a musician, he was a fantasy. But with every chart-topping single and viral performance came an undercurrent of whispers. Is Shawn hiding something? In 2025, those whispers turned into a roar, making his private life a bigger headline than his music. Shawn's career has always been tied to his image. Early on, he was branded the clean-cut, straight-laced Canadian heartthrob. Hollywood loved it, brands loved it, and millions of fans plastered his posters on bedroom walls. But as fame grew, so did the questions. From awkward interviews about dating to viral compilations of his mannerisms, internet sleuths fueled years of speculation about his sexuality. Shawn himself admitted in 2020 that the rumors made him feel frustrated and trapped. Yet, even as the world shifted toward embracing LGBTQ+ stars, Mendes stayed silent. Then 2025 arrived, and so did the scandal. Photos leaked online showed Shawn in what tabloids called intimate moments with a male friend during a private vacation in Ibiza. At first, his team dismissed it as paparazzi manipulation, but fans weren't buying it. The hashtags exploded. Hashtag Shawn exposed. Hashtag love is love. Hashtag stop hiding Shawn. TikTokers analyzed body language, lip-syncing to his lyrics as if they were secret confessions. The story wasn't just gossip anymore, it was the scandal of the summer. For Shawn, the timing couldn't have been worse. His long-awaited comeback album was set to drop, with a carefully curated image campaign of vulnerability and authenticity. Instead, every headline was about his secret life interviews that should have been about his music turned into uncomfortable grilling about the photos. Late-night hosts cracked jokes while fans demanded clarity. The pressure was suffocating. And here's where the scandal hit deeper. Was Shawn's silence protecting his privacy, or was it reinforcing the very stigma queer men have fought to break? Critics argued that staying closeted, or refusing to label, was harmful in an era where visibility saves lives. Others defended him fiercely, saying no one owes the world their identity. The debate raged on Twitter threads, Reddit forums, and YouTube think pieces, turning Shawn from a pop idol into a lightning rod for conversations about sexuality and celebrity culture. Yet through it all, Shawn's allure only intensified. His Ibiza photos racked up millions of likes. His new single, ironically about freedom, skyrocketed on streaming platforms. The scandal made him more relevant than ever, even if it came at the cost of his peace. And perhaps that's the cruel paradox of Hollywood in 2025. The truth doesn't just set you free, it sells. Drop 9 if you think Shawn should speak his truth. Speak his truth. Number: Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi has always been Hollywood's towering enigma, a 6'5" heartthrob whose smoldering looks and magnetic screen presence made him both a teen idol and a critical darling. From Netflix rom-coms to gritty HBO dramas, Jacob built a career on contradictions: wholesome yet dangerous, romantic yet brooding, accessible yet untouchable. But in 2025, it wasn't his acting that had everyone talking. It was the whispers surrounding his private life, whispers that spiraled into one of the year's most sensational gay scandals. For years, Jacob's love life played out like a Hollywood script. He dated some of the most famous women in the industry, paparazzi documenting every kiss, every red carpet appearance, every breakup. Yet, through it all, there was an undercurrent that wouldn't disappear. Interviews where Jacob dodged questions, clips where he looked just a little too flirtatious with male co-stars, and rumors of late-night sightings in queer hotspots from Sydney to Los Angeles. Fans called it gay-coded behavior. Critics brushed it off as speculation. But by 2025, the line between rumor and reality began to blur. The scandal erupted when behind-the-scenes footage from a fashion campaign leaked, footage that was never supposed to see the light of day. The clips, grainy but damning, showed Jacob in what many described as unguarded intimacy with a male model. Social media detonated. Hashtags like #JacobExposed and #Euphoria. Energy trended for days, with TikTokers dissecting every frame like detectives. Some insisted it was proof of a secret life. Others argued it was simply queerbaiting gone too far. Hollywood, of course, thrives on scandal, and Jacob's handlers scrambled to spin the narrative. Official statements labeled the footage taken out of context, but fans weren't convinced. The ambiguity only fueled speculation. Was Jacob queer and unwilling to say it? Was this a publicity stunt? Or was he simply another star caught between the machine of Hollywood image-making and his own identity? The debate was vicious. To his critics, Jacob symbolized the worst of Hollywood, using queerness as an aesthetic while refusing to embrace the community fully. To his defenders, he was a victim of toxic celebrity culture, forced into silence about something deeply personal. Think pieces flooded the internet? Does Hollywood still punish gay leading men? The Elordi effect? Queerbait or closet? Jacob, intentionally or not, had become the center of a cultural storm. By the end of 2025, Jacob Elordi wasn't just an actor. He was a symbol of desire, of secrecy, of the impossible demands placed on celebrities in a hyper-connected world. His scandal wasn't just about sexuality. It was about power, privacy, and the price of living under Hollywood's brightest spotlight. Drop a 4 if you think Jacob should set the record straight, or a 6 if you believe the mystery is what keeps him untouchable. Number 4. James Cusati Moyer. James Cusati Moyer was never meant to blend in. With razor-sharp cheekbones, a commanding stage presence, and a resume that stretches from Broadway's most intense dramas to Netflix's buzziest thrillers, he built a career on breaking molds. He wasn't the typical Hollywood golden boy. He was the disruptor, the actor who brought danger and sensuality to every role. But in 2025, James found himself thrust into a spotlight he couldn't control, caught in a scandal that blurred the line between performance and reality. For years, insiders described James as unapologetically queer-coded, though he never made a public statement about labels. His performances carried a raw intimacy that left audiences wondering how much of the man bled into the characters he played. Critics praised him as fearless, while fans worshipped him as one of the few actors who could make vulnerability look both sexy and dangerous. But that same energy, so magnetic on screen, would ignite the flames of scandal when private moments spilled into the public eye. It began innocently enough. Whispers about late-night parties, about James being spotted leaving exclusive West Hollywood clubs, arm in arm with powerful producers and rising male stars. But things escalated when leaked DMs and screenshots hit Twitter, allegedly showing James involved in flirty, risque exchanges with men who weren't just fans but fellow actors. Screenshots went viral, with hashtags like James Uncovered and Stage to Secrets dominating trends. Some accused him of recklessness, of letting private desires jeopardize a promising career. Others accused Hollywood itself of hypocrisy, punishing James for something that would barely make headlines if he were straight. The narrative twisted into a storm. Was this a scandal of betrayal, or simply a queer man living authentically in a world that still demanded silence? James's camp tried to push back, dismissing the leaks as manufactured and taken out of context. But the screenshots, the blurred photos, the anonymous Reddit threads, there was simply too much smoke for fans to ignore. Speculation turned into obsession. Gossip sites dug into his past relationships, pulling up grainy paparazzi photos from years earlier, crafting timelines of his supposed secret love life. The scandal also sparked a bigger cultural debate. Was James being punished for daring to live freely, or was he carelessly blurring boundaries between personal and professional? Some saw him as reckless, others as revolutionary. But no one could deny one thing. James Cusati Moyer had become unforgettable. By the close of 2025, James's name wasn't just tied to his Emmy-nominated performances. It was tied to one of Hollywood's juiciest gay scandals, proof that even in an industry that thrives on secrets, Sometimes exposure makes you larger than life. Drop a 9 if you think James is redefining the rules, or a 10 if you believe the scandal went too far. Jeremy Pope was supposed to be the golden boy of Broadway and Hollywood, a rare talent who could sing, dance, and act with equal brilliance. From his Tony-nominated performances on stage to his breakout in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood, Jeremy seemed destined to be the kind of star the industry desperately needed. Young, black, queer, unapologetically authentic. But in 2025, even authenticity wasn't enough to shield him from scandal. What began as admiration for his artistry spiraled into one of the most heated conversations about fame, queerness, and betrayal that the year had to offer. Jeremy had always worn his truth openly, never shying away from speaking about being a gay black man navigating an industry still riddled with double standards. For many fans, that honesty was refreshing. Finally, a star who didn't dodge, didn't deflect, didn't pretend. But Hollywood has a way of twisting honesty into vulnerability, and when whispers about his personal life surfaced, the tabloids pounced with full force. The spark came from an unexpected source, a tell-all blog post by a supposed ex-partner who claimed Jeremy had played both sides in his personal and professional life. Screenshots of private messages followed, painting a picture of complicated romances with overlapping timelines, men, women, and industry insiders all caught up in his orbit. While nothing was officially verified, the salaciousness of the details made the story impossible to ignore. Social media turned it into spectacle, with hashtags like Pope Drama and Hollywood Saint trending for weeks. The fallout was brutal. For some, the scandal shattered the carefully crafted image of Jeremy as the perfect queer role model. For others, it revealed the unrealistic expectations placed on celebrities, especially queer ones, to embody sainthood. Commentators debated endlessly. Was Jeremy just a flawed human being? Or was he exploiting his position as a queer icon while breaking the very values he preached? The conversation went deeper than gossip. Think pieces emerged on race, queerness, and the double burden placed on black gay men in Hollywood. Why was Jeremy being crucified for messy love lives when straight male stars were celebrated for the same chaos? Why did the queer community both lift him up as a hero and tear him down when he faltered? The scandal wasn't just about Jeremy. It was about the impossible expectations of representation. By the end of 2025, Jeremy Pope was no longer just the triple-threat talent with Broadway roots. He had become a lightning rod for controversy, a queer star whose humanity collided with Hollywood's relentless hunger for scandal. Whether villain or victim, Jeremy's name was etched into the year's most unforgettable headlines. Hollywood has always dazzled us with perfection, yet tonight proved that beneath the glitter lies chaos no spotlight can hide. From Cameron Dallas's shocking downfall to Shawn Mendes' relentless speculation, Jacob Elordi's viral queer-coded drama, James Cusati Moyer's messy leaks, and Jeremy Pope's storm of betrayal, 2025 was a year where scandals defined stars as much as their talent. But here's the truth. Behind every headline is a human being navigating fame, pressure, and impossible expectations. Do we judge them, forgive them, or simply watch the drama unfold? Rainbow emoji, speech bubble emoji. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're watching with you. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss Hollywood's rawest, queerest secrets, only on Rainbow Spotlight.